Well, good morning, everyone. My name is W.J. Miles. I'll be your instructor for today. And Heather
Good morning.
is answering your questions online. If you have any questions during the session today, please type them in the question pane located on the right-hand side of your screen. If you can't see the question pane, you may have to click on the orange arrow to have it pop out and maximize it. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can during the webinar today, and we'll allow some time at the end of the presentation for questions also. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be put up on our YouTube channel soon, so you can come back and view it at your leisure. So on the screen here, you'll see that we're on the My MetroTex website. This is our professional site, or you'll hear people refer to it as our member site. To get to MLS, we'd like for you to come here, go directly below the little blue house, and click on the MLS login right there to log in. So if you haven't logged in, go ahead and do that. And then also, I just want to point out to you that this is our centennial year. We have been in existence for 100 years. You're going to see lots of celebrations, tree plantings, and things like that on our calendar. If you can attend any of those, we would love for you to. Once you click on the MLS login there, you'll be taken to a page where you put in your sign-in information, and then you'll be brought to the NTREIS portal. So today we're going to be talking about Find. Find is the third icon here. What in the world is Find? Find is actually the back side of Realtor.com. You can get to the front side very easily, as I'm going to show you today on the webinar, but this is going to have a lot more information that a realtor would use on the back side of this. You can also see every residential property in the United States in this database. So not only are properties in our MLS system, other parts of the state, other part of the country are also included on this. So if you click on the Find icon, it's going to take you to the Find tab. One thing I like to do starting this class is just to make sure that everything's set up the way that you want it to be set up and showing the way that you want it to be. So up here at the top, you've got a navigation menu, search, tagging, settings, and answer center. If you click on the settings, this is where you can put in your contact information. When you have the little person selected in the top left-hand corner, you'll see your contact information here. You can go ahead and edit that, put in the contact information you want to use for the system. If you do change anything up here, be sure and hit that orange update button. And then down below, I would recommend that you get the system set up with this little panel right here, because this is going to show on the reports that I'm going to show you later on in class. So your picture over here on the left, this contact information is going to populate from this contact information up here, and then your logo over here on the right. And when we do the reports later on in class, I'll show you where that is. Also, if you go to the little computer screen in the top left-hand corner of this page, you can change the way the program operates here with the defaults. I find that the defaults that come set work pretty well, but if for some reason you need to change the way the program looks, then you can change those settings here. All right, so if we go back to the search page, here at the search page, everything happens here on this one page. When you have nothing in the search here at the top, to make it look the way my screen is going to look today, make sure this sort by is on price and descending. Price and descending. The arrow will be pointing down. If you click on it, the arrow will be pointing up. You'll see things differently. If you click on it again, you'll see the arrow pointing down. This is the way I'm going to have it set up today, so that you can see the price descending. Over here on the left-hand side, you have panels that help you to refine your search. Here in the center, you're going to see the different properties that come up for your search. And then over here to the right, you're going to see these little tabs. I like to refer to these tabs as drawers. You can click on the little tab and the drawer will open up and you can get to it. And we're going to discuss those as we go through class here today. So the way I like to start the class is have everyone look at a property you know something about. So if you go to the top left-hand corner, directly below the Find logo there's a search box. Click in that search box and type in the address of a property that you know something about. I have a pet address. If you've been to any of my classes, you'll see that I go to this property pretty often. 10777 Straight Lane in Dallas, Texas. So that's exactly how you'll type it in. Street number, street name, and type the city and the state. And when you hit search, if it finds a property, it's going to show that one property here in the search pane here. So we're going to take a look here and see what we can see about this property. Notice here in the top left-hand corner of this pane, we've got the 36 pictures. We're going to click on that here in a second and look at them. Then you're going to see the street address, the city and state, and information there. Then in the center here, you're going to see the information about this property. How many bedrooms, how many baths, square footage, acreage, all of that. And then to the right of that, you're going to see the property status. This one's currently in an off-market status and who the owner is there. The reason I like this property, if you click on the picture and make it larger and then click on the picture again, is this property looks like the White House. Both the front and the back side of the property looks like the White House. Very nice home here in Dallas. It started on the market back last year, I think, for $19.5 million. That came down to $15 million and is currently in cancel status. But gorgeous home, nice kitchen. Love that refrigerator. I think it would take up about half of my kitchen, though. So it's a nice place. I always tell everybody my wife would love this room, but I couldn't afford to keep it stocked for her.
No kidding.
So lots of great pictures here of the property, and then I like the theater here. That looks like a mannequin back there in the bar, I think, and then the old-time piano there. So great property. Love showing it to everybody in class. So one reason I brought you here is when you're on the property details, if you go to the photo archive tab on the property details, you're going to see all of the pictures that have gone through MLS. So here's the oldest one that it has in the system from June 24th, 2015. There's 26 photos attached to it. So even if the photos get deleted out of MLS, they are going to be in this system. The reason I point this out to you also is if you're working with a property that you think might be being flipped and has been fixed up and you want to see it back before they fixed it up, if it was in MLS on that previous time there, you could come here and see those older photos there. So you can also see we upped our number of photos since 2015. Since there was 26 here, we're now at 36 there. Okay, so if a property's been through MLS and had photos on it, you'll see them in here, although the celebrities have found this database. We spend some time in the lab class that we do looking for celebrity homes, and they've started disappearing on us, so they have found it. But if we go to the public data tab here on this property, this is the information you're going to see that is the realtor information. It's got tax roll information here, and you're going to see an AVM. AVM stands for Automated Valuation Model. Automated Valuation Model. And it's got several different ones here that it does. It uses the tax assessed values of properties around this property to figure this number. And you're saying, well, WJ, you just told me it was at 19.5 million and 15 million. Why is the AVM coming out at less than 2 million? It's because this is a very unique property. It's 16,000 square feet on 3.3 or 3.4 acres. All right, so back to where we were here on the property, looking at the public details here. We were discussing the AVM values and why it's incorrect on this property. As I said earlier, this property is now in an off-market status, and the last value that it had in MLS was 15 million. Why in the world is this less than 2 million on this AVM value? That's because it uses the tax assessed values of properties around this property to figure this AVM number. And this home is a unique home, very large, 16,000 some odd square feet on 3.4 acres here. And the properties around it are smaller. So it's never going to be right on the AVM here for these unique type properties there. But if we scroll on down, we're going to see tax roll information, who owns the property, the legal description and finance information, and then we're going to see building and construction with the square footages there and everything. So lots of great information here for you. If you scroll back up to the top and you come over to the listings, if the property is currently active in a listing in an MLS, you're going to see those listings here, but since it's currently not active, you're not going to see anything. If we go to history, on the history here, you're going to see the prior listings here. So you're going to see canceled, expired, all of those different statuses. Then if we go down below that, we're going to see some charts and graphs of the AVM again. Again, it's going to be notoriously wrong on unique properties like this. But if it was a property that was similar to properties around it, it should be closer. But an AVM is never going to be as accurate as what a CMA would be if you did it in the MLS system. Then you're going to see the overall assessed values for the land and the structure. And then taxes being paid. I don't know I can afford the taxes on this place here. So over almost $500,000 or $250,000, excuse me, each year on this property. So lots of great information there for you. We've already talked about the photo archives and all the past listings that you can see in there. And then if we go to community information, community information is going to be at the zip code level. If you notice here on the blue bar, we've got the zip code and then the community report. Here in the little purple or blue area, you're going to see some facts about that population. And then you're going to see the own versus rent in that zip code, the homeowners versus those that are renting. Then over on the right, you're going to see market analysis for the zip code, the state, and the United States. So the average listing price in the zip code, the average sale price in the zip code, and then for Texas and the U.S. there also. And then in the zip code, what's the average household income versus the state, and then the national there. And then it'll have the top occupations of the people that live in that zip code. What are those? So in this case, it's admin support, other services, and
artisan, it looks like.
Artisan? Wow.
Yeah,
I guess that's builders and things like that. And then to the right of that, you're going to see the age pop out there as to what age groups are here and the total population of that zip code. And then across the bottom, you're going to see their education levels. So we've got attended college, some college, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, and graduate degree. So if we scroll up, one neat thing that it does here is back on the dark blue bar here where you see the zip code, if you come over to the right, you can do a compare. When you do a compare, this is if you've got someone moving from out of state and they're thinking about moving into this zip code, you can actually put in the zip code of where they're coming from. So if we click this little pencil in this column for the compare, and we put in a zip code, one I like to show is that TV show. What is it? 90210.
Oh.
The older TV show there. I think we're going to see quite a bit of difference between these two zip codes. So when we click on that, it's going to show, well, actually this one's not too bad compared to that one.
It's actually pretty similar.
So we got the average list price in this zip code and the average zip price over there. Then we got the average sale price there. And for some reason, 90210 is not showing the rent versus buy. But then down here, you're going to see the occupations and all the information. So this helps you to show someone moving from another zip code to the zip code is how does it compare. So my parents live in 72116. I think we're going to see a dramatic difference between this zip code
Oh,
So
yeah. Very big change there.
This is more the lifestyle I lead, I guess, here. So you're going to see the average list price and then the average sales price. This is actually in central Arkansas on the north side of the river of Little Rock there. So again, it helps you to compare zip codes, and then you can print this to a PDF report. If you click on print to PDF, it will pop up and produce a PDF report here for you to send to your client. Gives them a lot of valuable information about the population in that zip code compared to where they're moving from. So it looks like there we go. It's finally going. So here's what it's going to look like when it produces that PDF file, and then you could copy it or save it and send it to your client. In Chrome, you can come over here. You can do the download arrow here, or you could print it to another printer or whatever. Okay, so if we close that report back, lots of great information there on the community. And then we've got the schools and location. The last tab here, if we go to schools and location, this is going to talk about the schools that are around this property. So you're going to see a pin where the property is right here, and then you'll see little buildings for the schools. And then over here, it's going to be have ratings. This actually comes from Great Schools rating right there. You'll see that. And it rates public and private schools from 0 to 10 there. So the higher the number, the better. And then it's going to show the elementary school and the high schools and middle schools or whatever. If we scroll on down, we'll see that it's in the Dallas ISD. And then you'll see the footprint of that independent school district there. So lots of great information for you. If we come back up here to the top, notice there's a Realtor.com logo right here. Realtor.com, if you click on it, it's going to take you to the front side of Realtor.com. This is what consumers can see about this property on Realtor.com. So there's the pictures again that came over from MLS. And you'll see down here in the bottom right-hand corner, it has the number of pictures there. Then you'll see the facts, home facts about the property. There's that estimated value again that's incorrect. And then you're going to see properties around it on the map there that have sold or are active or whatever. So this is what the public would see about this property if they came to it on Realtor.com. Okay? If we close that Realtor.com logo back up there, or excuse me, tab, you see the Realtor.com logo and then the address. If you close that tab with the little X there, it will bring us back into the system.
So you're saying literally that if anything in Realtor.com, we should be able to find it here in this product?
Correct.
Okay, all right,
Correct.
cool.
And then you see even more things that the public can't see by looking it up in Find here. And then if we want to close this property, you come to the top right-hand corner of this pane, hit an X right there. It will close it. Notice the way I found it was looking for the address, and it broke out the address out into the different fields here. So we've got address, city, and state. So if we hit clear, that will clear us out and take us back to our home page here again. So that's how you find one property and the information about that property. But what if I want to use the system to search for a group of properties? So let's say we want to find properties that are for sale. So if I type in for sale, and let's pick a small little place. How about Capel, Texas? And we want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And if we hit search, see how many we find here. So currently in Capel, there are 27 properties that are actively for sale. And you can see those properties here. And you'll notice on the right-hand side of each of them, they show to be for sale on there. So I could refine this even further if I wanted to. Maybe my client has told me they want to have granite. They want granite countertops. So if I type in the word granite and I hit search, let's see what it does with that word granite. See, I put it into this keywords field here. The keywords field is kind of its catch-all. If it doesn't know what it is, it'll throw it into that keywords field. What that means is it has to have the word granite somewhere on that listing. So it could be kitchen with granite countertops, it could be granite cliffs in Colorado, whatever there. It's using the word granite in there. So you might want granite or stainless steel or pool or something like that. If you put pool and the listing agent puts in the description, well, we don't have a pool, but it has a pool-sized backyard, you're still going to find it with that keyword search there. If it doesn't work for you, you can always come to that field, hit the X in there, and it will remove that criteria, and we'll come back to the original ones that we found there. So if you scroll down, you'll see the for sale properties there based on the criteria that you have put in. Okay? Yes?
Real quick, WJ, somebody's asking, can you also search for rentals?
Sure. Let's hit clear here, and let's put in another search. Maybe I want to search for rent in Dallas, Texas, and hit search. And you're going to see the for rent over here. It could be for sale and for rent, but you'll see at least the for rent if it's for rent. There's one thing I want to point out in here though. If we click in the search box and we come down here to the bottom, there's some things called power shortcuts. This forces whatever you put behind this power shortcut to go into a particular field. So watch what I'm doing here. If I just put in 2,000, I should put a dollar sign in front of it, dollar sign 2,000 to 2,500, and I hit search, I didn't find anything, did I? It's because it's looking for a price range here of selling between 2,000 and 2,500. It interpreted that as a dollar amount, but it put it in the list price. It's looking for a list price. So the reason I pointed out the shortcuts, if you come down here to the bottom and you hit more, there is one that is the rent price. And the rent price is an RP colon. So if I type in this power shortcut here of RP colon, and I do the same thing, 2,000 to 2,500, and now I hit search. See how it found properties for me now? Because it has a rent price of 2,000 to 2,500. So that's a very important power shortcut that you have to use to look for rental properties. If we come back down here, there's other power shortcuts. You could force it to go into keywords. You could force it to go into schools, maybe the MLS number that you're looking for, or the homeowner's name. You can force it to go into all these different fields by using these power shortcuts. Okay? So easy to search with. You can either type it all in one long string and let it interpret it, or you can put it in individual terms at a time. So let's say we want to find a condo for sale in Houston. If I type in for sale, hit search, and I want to find a condo, hit search, and then I want to see Houston, Texas. You can see how it guesses down below there, Houston, and hit search. And then I want to find one that is, let's say, 300K to 400K. So there's 494 properties that are actively for sale that are condos in Houston. But let me put this in a different way. I'm going to hit clear. Notice we got 494 properties that match that search. So if I hit clear and then I type in for sale, condo, Houston, Texas, and I want 300 to 400 K. I'm sorry, I should have put K on both of those. K, and I hit search. See how I found those 494 properties by putting it all in together, and it interprets what it sees there and bust it into the correct fields. If it didn't understand what you were doing, it might throw it into keywords, and you would have to refine it that way. So you can either put one field at a time in and hit search, or you can put multiple fields in and let it interpret it. Okay, so let's hit clear. So we just found condos for sale outside of our area. Let's go outside our state. If we hit clear to clear, we'll come back to our home page here. So there's different things in different markets that mean things. So my son was in the military, and one of the locations he was based at was Colorado Springs, Fort Carson, Colorado Springs, Colorado. So I start typing here, and it automatically finds Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hit search, and then let's say we want for sale. Hit search again, and we want a house. So we could either type in single family, or we could type in the word house here. Hit search. See how it said, okay, I consider a house to be a single family residence. So for sale, Colorado Springs, single family residence. Maybe we want 300K to 350K, and hit search again. So in Colorado Springs, in the price range of 300 to 350, there's 284 properties there. But there's also a uniqueness about this area. In Texas, we pretty much have to have AC in every house down here, don't we?
We do.
How many of these 284 in Colorado Springs do you think have air conditioning?
I want to say maybe it's probably half of that.
I don't think it's going to be that many. So if we type in air conditioning, it's going to put it in keywords. Only about 10% of the homes up there that are for sale are going to have AC. And what you'll notice is they're going to be the newer homes are going to have AC. The older homes up there do not have AC as a rule. So depending on the area of the country that you're in, things that people search for are different. So the when I typed in the AC, it put in air conditioning here in the keyword field there.
We wouldn't be able to live here in Texas without air conditioning.
Well, it's a different climate up there too. They're on the lee side of the Rockies, and things are cooler and don't get as hot. Although I have been up there when it was warm and needed it. So if we hit clear again, we'll see that we're back to our search home here. Just to show you one of the drawers over here, the history over here on the right hand side. If we open up history, any property that we've looked at, the details on are going to be here. If I wanted to go right back to that straight lane property we looked at the beginning, I click on it, it brings me back to the details of that straight lane. You have to open it up. So if I come back and look at a property here, I don't really think this is 999. That's almost $1 billion, isn't it? But if I click that and I open it up, see how it just added it over here as one of the properties that I opened? You can clear the history out here if you hit clear, but otherwise it's going to get you back to the properties very easily. Also, you can follow properties. If you open up a property and you want to follow that property, you're going to see right here that you can click on follow. It's going to add followed right there. It's going to add followed right there. And I'm going to show you here in a moment where you can get to those properties that you followed. And then right here is add to reports. Right at the beginning of class, I showed you how to, on your profile, put your information in. This is the reason I did that. If we hit, quick reports, not the add to reports. I'll talk about add to reports here in a minute. But quick reports. If we click on quick reports, these are all the different reports that you can produce in the system about this. So if you want the agent long report, you would click there while you're on a property. It's going to open up the report generator, and it's going to produce a report here for you for your clients. Notice the contact information that we talked about right there at the beginning of class is right here at the top. So you'll see your picture, your contact information, your company logo. If we scroll down, this is the information it's going to show about that property on the agent long report. Okay, and if we scroll all the way back to the top, we could save this information, we could share it, we could print it to PDF. If we hit save, we could give this report a name, and it would save it in our reports down here with that name. If we click on share, sorry, let me close that. If we click on share, again, we could give this report a name and hit save and share it. Or if we click on PDF, it's going to produce a PDF file of this report. And again, if you're in Chrome, hopefully the report generator is going to work pretty quick here. If you're in Chrome, it's going to open that PDF file, and then here in the top right-hand corner, you're going to have all the options of downloading it and saving it. There we go. Here's the download button right there, and there's the print button right there. So easy to produce the reports and share those with your clients. Okay? The add to report. What in the world is this? If you look right here in the top right hand corner, it says report bin. If you click on add to report, it's putting it in that report bin. See how it has one property up here? If I click on that report bin, hello, there we go. It'll show all the properties that I put in this report bin. If I want to remove it from the report bin, I come back here, delete it from the report bin, it removes it. Why would I use a report bin? Let's say I'm looking for some properties for a buyer, and I'm going to show them some of these properties. I could throw them in this report bin before I go show. So if I come here, let's say we want to look in Denton, Texas. Okay, going to type in the city. Did I spell it right? Yep. Search Denton, Texas, and let's say we want for sale. Search, and we want between 400 and 500, and I keep forgetting to put my K in there. One of these days I'm going to remember to put the K behind there. Okay, then we're going to hit search. So in Denton, Texas, there's 28 properties, but it looks like we're finding land up there also. So maybe we want a single family. And search. So there's 21 properties there. If I find these properties and I go, you know, I'm going to show them this one, so I could hit add to report. If we go back up to the top, you'll see it's got one property in there. And each one I want to show them, I would come down through here and hit the add to report. And then they would all be in this report bin. If I go back to the report bin, here's the properties I'm going to show right there. And then I could sort them different ways if I wanted to. And this would give me the information that I can find here about these properties before I go show. So that's how you use the report bin. If you want to clear the report bin out, you click and you go to remove all right there, and it will remove those from the report bin. Okay? Also, any searches that I put in, if we go down to the next tab on the right-hand side, you're going to see searches that I have saved here. I've given these searches a name. So maybe this search that I have right here in Denton, Texas is for a particular client. And I don't want to have to reproduce this search each time I want to run it. So I could come here after I put in the search, come to the gray buttons to the right of the search button here and hit save, and it can wants me to give it a name. So let's say this is, I don't know, how about Donald Trump is my buyer purchasing in Denton there. And I can save it as a search, I can save it as my default search, or I could save it as a hot feed. I'm just going to save this one as a search. Now when I hit save, it confirms that it saved it. Now if I hit clear, and it's a different day, another week or whatever, and I want to find those same properties, I'm going to come over here to search, and then I'll see all of my different searches in alphabetical order, and right there is the one I saved for Donald Trump. I click on it, boom, it's going to show me the properties that match that day. It didn't save the listings, it saved the search criteria, and then I would see the properties that are active on that day for sale. Okay? The other one it had there, if I do save, it had save as a hot feed. What in the world is a hot feed? If I hit clear here, I'm back to my home page. Here on the right hand side is a hot feed. Watch what happens when I open this drawer. I've got all these different searches here that are running, and it's looking for changes since the last time I opened this drawer. So I've got lots of them I've saved here in class, different ones or whatever. But this Breckenridge, Colorado condos, there's 9. That means since I last ran this search, there are 9 properties that have had changes on it. Here on the Capel Actives, there's 225. So each time you open this drawer, it looks at the last time you ran that search and only shows you properties that have changed since you last ran this hot feed. A little bit different than hot sheets in our MLS system there. Okay? If we close the hot feeds tab there and we go to reports, any reports that I have generated will also be saved in here that you can see right there. So I've run different reports on different classes, and you're going to see those reports that I've generated there. If I close that back, then there's another part of the screen that we haven't talked about yet. That's the results breakdown over here. So next month we're going to go to Florida on vacation.
Lucky over there.
So Heather, can I earn a commission selling a condo in Florida?
Well, you could be a referral, is that correct?
Correct. If I'm not licensed in Florida, I can't earn a commission, but I could earn a referral fee by referring someone down there. So let's say I've got a friend that's wanting to purchase a condo in Destin. So if I type in Destin, we'll see Destin, Florida there, and hit search. Then maybe we want a for sale condo. Hit search. So there's 556. Maybe I want, or they want a price range between 350K. Hey, I remembered it, to 450K, and hit search. So there's 74 properties there, and then maybe they want one that's on the waterfront. Look at that one right there in that pretty view. So let's put in the word waterfront. Okay, and hit search. So out of those 74 properties, 29 of them mention the word waterfront. Now again, this is a keyword, somewhere it has to be on there. It could say on the beach, waterfront, or it could say walking distance to waterfront. So you got to be careful about those. But let's say I've got a friend that I want to refer down there. I can come here and start clicking on some of these condos and go to the listings here and find agents that are doing business down in that area. Maybe I go through several listings and I find this team name here, At the Beach Team. Maybe they're doing several listings in that area. I could call them and say, hey, I have a buyer wanting to buy down in your area. Would you pay me a referral fee? So you could use the system that way also. Then you can keep them honest to see, are they really on the waterfront? While you've got your search here, if you go to the map, it's going to take those properties and it's going to map them here. And to scroll down on these properties, you have to use the plus and minus over here, your little wheel on this map will not work. But if we scroll down, we'll see properties here. And then if we do the aerial, looks like that's probably going to be on the waterfront. Let me look and see if there's any of them that are on the other side, because they could be on the waterfront and be on the bay side, right? Okay, where's my pins? Yeah, here's one. All right, here's one that is on an inlet. See this? So it is truly on the waterfront, but it's not on the beach side there. Okay? So that's a way you can keep them honest. Are they really on the water or not there? So I came here by using the plus and minus. When we got down lower, if you see a pin that has a plus sign on it, that means there's more than one property underneath that pin. There's just not enough room between them there to map them separately. And then you've got the road and the aerial and the bird's eye view, all the different things that you can search there. So if we go back to the road there, we'll see that. You can also turn on layers and different things in this map. So let me get us back up to the high level here by hitting clear. And you can see hazards on this map. And one neat one that I like to do is the hurricanes. If we come here, there's little layers on the back side of the map tab here. There's a layers. When you click on that and you go to, where's it at? The walls. Nope, that's the points of interest. Pins, that's going to be the different pins there. Tiles. Here we go, hazards. So if we go to tiles and we come down to hurricanes, when you get on the right zoom level, see how it tells us we have to zoom down one level to see this? So I'm going to hit the plus sign. See all these different hurricanes that it's tracked over time? And you wouldn't think that we'd have hurricanes way up here in Dallas, but apparently some of them have stayed storm strength getting way up in here. As they dissipate and fall apart, then they would be less. And then there's one right here that just kind of wandered around out there. See, I did that loop and turned around and came back and hit Louisiana. So Louisiana and Florida usually take the brunt of those. But you can see other hazards here. You could turn on hazards. And then if you scroll down on an area that you know about, so I'm going to get back in Texas here where we know something about it. When we get down lower here, those are still the hurricanes coming through, but as we get down lower, look where it puts the tornadoes. And it has the year next to when that tornado happened. Okay? So you can, if you got somebody concerned about tornadoes, tell them, well, if you're really that concerned, you probably don't want to move to Texas or Oklahoma. But you can show them that, you know, it's been 1973 when that one happened, or whatever. I don't even know where we're at here. We're out in the middle of nowhere, aren't we?
You are.
Okay? So you can see those on there. Lots of different layers you can look at here and see that. Flight paths are going to be when they get below a certain altitude around an airport. We turn on the flight paths here. You'll see that little airport right there. It's showing the flight paths around there. So lots of neat stuff you can do there in the map. Okay? If we go back to turn off the flight paths here, turn that off, and close our map. So great tool. You can use it for properties all over the United States. So another one I like to do is Hilton Head Island. Everybody heard of Hilton Head before? Hilton Head Island is on the coast of South Carolina. Lots of big golf tournaments out there. Expensive to play golf on that island, I hear. Hilton Head Island. Oh, I did Head. Got to do Hilton first. Hilton Head Island. There we go. It's guessing Hilton Head Island, and hit search there. And then let's find the high-end properties. Maybe we want 1 million to 2 million. I better go higher, 3 million. Let's see how it interpreted that. So I did it correctly, 1 million to 3 million price there, and we want the ones that are for sale. Search. And there's 200, wow, they got some inventory going on in the high end out there, don't they? And this time we want beachfront as keywords. So 40 properties that say they are on beachfront between $1 to $3 million there. Notice these panels over here on the left, we can break down our price or our amenities here. So it's telling us in between 1 to 3 million, we've got these different price slivers. Maybe they're really wanting to focus around 2 million. There are 8 properties that are 1.7 to 2 million. When I click on that, it helps to refine my search, and then we could do it by bedrooms, or bathrooms, year built, square footage, lot size. It would help us to refine our search there. So maybe we want 3 bedrooms. There's 6 properties that have 6 bedrooms, 3 properties that have 6 bedrooms there. And these panels help you to refine your search by looking at the inventory there and the different categories that it falls into. So easy to search with the panels.
Now, WJ, we've
Yes.
gotten a couple questions. Wanted to run them by you.
Mm-hmm.
So one is asking, and I couldn't remember if you have this ability, but they want to know how to search for solds based on a particular day range.
This is not a great tool to try to do a CMA in. They do not give you the exact price. Let me show you what I mean. And a lot of people on the east side want to be able to do the Tyler. Tyler has its own MLS, right? And they don't want to have to join 2 MLSs. So if I go to Tyler, Texas, and I hit search, and I want to look for sold properties, notice what it gives me here. This is a recently sold in Tyler, Texas, but look what the sold price is. It gives me a range. Okay, our MLS does the same thing. Every MLS that you look at in here, instead of giving you the actual sales price, it's going to give you a range. If they put the actual sold price in here, then we could go outside of our MLS and do a CMA and see the actual sold price there. They got in trouble for doing that when this first came out, but they corrected it, and this is the way they corrected it, is somewhere between that range is what this property sold for. So no, this is not a good tool to do a CMA in.
Okay. I also had another question. I know that you can search for just townhomes instead of condos, but can you also do a 0 lot line? Don't know if you have that ability in this program.
I don't think so.
It's much more limited on what you can do in the searches based on what you can do in Matrix.
If we put in 0 lot line, it's probably going to throw it in the keyword search. Ooh, it's thinking about it. Yeah, see how it put 0 there, and then it said lot. Ooh, you want a 0 lot? And then it threw in Lincoln, Nebraska, MLS there. So no, I have never seen the term 0 lot line here. You might try putting it in the keyword. So let me get rid of this and type it directly into 0 lot line. Oops. Zero lot line, and hit OK. And that's probably going, if it does find some here, it's probably going to show something that has it in the description. 200,000 properties? I'm not sure that's right. Let's do Dallas, Texas. 2,500 properties. Well, maybe it is picking up some 0 lot lines here. So again, that's going to probably have to say something about that in the property description. But no, there's not going to be a way to search on the property type. If I hit clear here and I do for sale, you can see what's in that field. It's going to be the property type field. If you click in here, you've got for rent, for sale, foreclosure, new construction, off market, recently sold, and short sales. That's the only things that can go in that property status field right there. Oh, that's a property status field. Let's do property type. Let's do condo. Okay. Search in the property type field. We're going to see some that we don't have around here, like row houses. There we go. If we click in here, you're going to see commercial, row houses, and co-ops are included with condos and townhomes. And then you'll see these other statuses you can see here, and I do not see a 0 lot line in that property type.
Okay, so those kind of searches you need to do in Matrix. It's not going to be able to do it in Find.
Correct.
But we did have one other question. Where was that? Let's see. Actually, no, I already answered it. So I did have one person that just wanted to show, if you could re-show the agent information. Some people missed that at the beginning when we started.
Sure.
With
So
our
let's-
audio issue.
So let's actually show you some ways you can search on that field also. So let's do for sale search. And in the field here, someplace I hadn't picked on, let's do Frisco. For sale Frisco, Texas. So the 1,500 properties. Wow. They got some inventory up there, don't they?
They do.
Let's say we want 500K to 600K and hit search. So 264 properties there. Let's say I'm an out-of-state realtor and I'm looking for someone that sells homes in Frisco, Texas in this price range. If I find the homes here and I click on the address, when you come here, it's going to default coming to the listings. Since you did a search here for sale properties, there's that listing, and then down below is the listing details. If you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to find who is listing that property. So you might go through here and look at 10 or 12 or 20 or however many you want to look at and see, is there one person or one company that's listing a lot there, and you could possibly refer someone to your seller in that area. Say I've got a friend that's wanting to sell or purchase in this area, then you could refer them by looking at the listing details and who that agent is down here. You can also search for a particular agent. If I come here and I hit clear, I think I'm probably still going to be in here. Let's say I want to look for an agent's last name. We talked about the power shortcuts earlier. If I hit the more here and I scroll down, you're going to find selling agent. And the power shortcut for that is AG:. So let's say in Denton County, Texas. Let's see how it handles that. If I put in Denton County, Texas, it picked up that Denton is a county in Texas, and I look for my last name, but I have to use that power shortcut, AG:, and my last name is Miles, and I hit search. We're going to find properties here that the agent's last name has to be Miles. Now, I didn't sell that 1.5 million. Oh, I need for sale. These would actually be sold properties, right? If I want to see production, I'm going to hit sold and search, and Lake Dallas. This is one of my older properties here. Oh, a sad story here. I won't get into it, but a sad story about this one. So it's not showing my listings. History. Let's go down here. Sold. Expand that listing. And now when I scroll down, you'll see, oops, no, wasn't me. There's the agent's name right there. I was thinking of another house there in Lake Dallas, of a gentleman there. So yes, you can search for properties and find the agents that listed those properties, and you can look for particular agent names in the system here also. Any other questions?
And where was it where they could change their contact info again?
The contact info right there at the beginning. If you go up here to the top, you've got this navigation bar, the settings. When you come to settings and you've got the little person highlighted here in the top left-hand corner, this is your information. Okay, this is going to come from originally our membership database, and you can change your name. Like I don't go by Walter, I go by WJ, so it will let me change it here just for this system. If you do make any changes up here, make sure and hit that update button. And then down below, this is what's going to go on the reports. The information here comes from up here, but then you can upload a picture and you can upload a company logo there. Okay? So very important for your reports that you have that information the way that you want your clients to see it.
Wonderful.
Okay. Any other questions?
Looks like that's it on this end. Hopefully, if we didn't answer your questions or if you find another one you need help with, call us in MLS today. If you don't have our number, it is 214-540-2755, or you can email us at mls@dfwre.com. All right. And just a quick little announcement, the next webinar we have coming up is July 10th, and it's going to be managing your listings with myself, Heather Collins, and Miss Barbara Bach. So we'll be teaching you how to put in a listing and edit and do all of those wonderful things. So definitely check us out again.
All right, guys, and you can always find our calendar of classes back on mymetrotex.com. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see upcoming classes. Right there's the webinar that we're in right now. If you come down here to view all classes, you'll see all of the events and classes here at Metrotex. Don't tell anybody, but I'd like to show you that you can just see our MLS classes. If you come over here and uncheck everything else that's over here, then you'll see just our MLS classes there, and then find the name of the class that you want to take, and then make sure it's in a location you want to take it in. We do all of our classes in each one of our service centers there. So we've got service centers in Grapevine, Louisville, Richardson, Garland, Duncanville, and then our main office here in Dallas. So we've enjoyed the webinar today. I hope y'all have. As I said at the beginning, this will be recorded and put up on our YouTube channel. You can get there very easily also if you go to mymetrotex.com. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll find our social media links. We would love for you to get connected with us on social media. If you go to the YouTube channel, the red one there, you'll see any communications that we have here on the YouTube channel. And if you go to videos, if it's a computer screen, it's usually going to be one of our videos from the MLS department there for you. So another great way for you to get training through that. So everyone have a great day and a great week. We'll see you next month on another webinar.
Bye, guys.